Well, hello and welcome to I Love Gay today. And we are in Mexico today via connections in Los Angeles. And we are here with Danny Andrews. How are you, Danny?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited to chat with you, Matt.
Me too. It's really fun because as for those that don't know, you and I we connected or in some ways reconnected online through LinkedIn
Right,
and
right.
realized somewhere along the way that we've known each other through similar friends for almost 20 years now.
Absolutely. It's aging us, but yeah, it was really it was nice to meet an old new friend, you
It
know?
was, and I shouldn't say when I say almost 20 years, that's a very loose, but yeah, I think it was 2007, and you and
Yeah.
I were both in Los Angeles at the time, and hanging out with similar circles and groups of friends.
Yeah, I was a young lawyer then. I had just started my career as an entertainment lawyer, landed in LA and, was out in West Hollywood, living La Vida Loca. But those were good days.
But since then, you've stayed and you've been in the legal world all that time, and you
Yeah.
were even up until recently the legal head of VP and legal head of commercial strategic corporate affairs at Priceline, which is huge.
Yeah, I mean, that was a wonderful opportunity. Just before that, I was the general counsel to the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, overseeing all of his like global investments in television and film all over the world, and wanted something a little bit more local, to come back and be with my family. And so Priceline, I've always loved travel. As you mentioned earlier, I'm living in Mexico right now, so I'm a bit of a nomad. And Priceline was always, was a great opportunity for me to blend my entertainment, my media, my love for travel, but also because it was largely a tech company, every day was something different. And I've always had a passion for helping startups and entrepreneurs and the like. And while Priceline is a large company, it felt like they might not love this, but sometimes it felt like we were working in a startup, but that made it very exciting.
Yeah, but see, as you were talking, it kind of brings us all together. Now you're in Mexico, and
Yeah.
but you've moved on and you've created kind of a business of your own. But I find it fascinating, and I actually find that, in my opinion, that it's one of those sort of things that you can only kind of do in today's world with the technology
Yeah.
and also the mental state as far as what's acceptable and what's not, because you're a lawyer, but also you're
Yeah.
pursuing some of the things you love most, which is, like you said, helping others and helping entrepreneurs, whether it's through legal advice, but also career coaching and so forth.
Absolutely. I started out from really humble beginnings, born on a tiny island in the Caribbean, and so didn't have a lot of access and didn't have a lot of any real blueprints, and so you learned on the job, right? And after X number of years, you've got some skills and insight, and it's really important to me at this stage in my career to be sharing that with communities that often don't have that access. So that's, brown and black people, that is LGBTQ people, right? Both communities that I'm a part of. And so this venture, to Sod Group Inc., my consulting arm, we're going out there and we're giving legal advice, business consulting advice, but also advice on how to live a more kind of integrated life. I think for so long, the focus of my life was just on my professional development and my professional growth. And it took me to get to a certain point where I realized, but I'm not happy. And I'm not happy because the other areas of my life I'm not focusing on, like my mental health and my physical health. And so when I'm consulting, I'm really trying to ensure that my clients are tapping into all three of those pillars, not just a professional success, but like a physical success and physical health as well as mental health. And largely from just my journey, right? So it's like I'm not telling you, I'm talking the talk and walking the walk, and I think that that is why I resonate with my clients.
Yeah, but I love that because it's very unique. But again, it's unique on one side, but also it is the kind of the direction of the future where things are not so black and white and placed in boxes as far as this is what you're going to do and this is how you're going to conduct yourself. And are clients
Yeah.
responding well to it? And are you finding folks that kind of align there with your mission?
I think yes. The answer is yes. I mean, I think it's people are really excited to have like a lawyer or a business coach who doesn't feel like stereotypically kind of stuffy, right? But who can also, give them advice on, hey, I think if you plan things this way or you structure things this way, you may be able to have a better life work balance and allow you to do some of the other things that you're passionate about, things that I kind of wished someone had told me. I used to be an opera singer, and used to tour, and I really just sort of gave that all up because I figured I had to, if I wanted to be a lawyer, I couldn't do this, right? And I wish someone was telling me like, but if you find ways to work smarter, not harder, and put the right structures in place, you can do it all. And I've learned that, and I want to make sure that the generations that are coming after me, and even those that are my generation who have not yet figured it out, know that it's possible, right? And so yeah, it is resonating, and it's resonating really with men, with women, with the inner, people who are in this sort of intersectionality, right? They're female and gay, they're black, and queer, and it's been really great. I'm excited about the future.
Yeah, I could tell. But as we were chatting earlier, you also mentioned living there in Mexico and the Yucatan
Yes.
Peninsula area, and you're opening a restaurant as well, right?
Yes, I mean, so a boy's got to eat, right? I love eating. And so listen, I love this, right? I'm throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks, something that I felt, again, that I just never took the liberty to do because I thought, well, you've got to just do this thing and be successful. And society's going to say you're not successful if you got more than one passion, right? Yeah. And so the restaurant idea, I mean, I've always wanted to own a jazz restaurant and bar. Food, growing up in the Caribbean,
Yeah.
food is really central to my culture, and it's a way that I receive love and communicate love. And so this restaurant is really a project of love, out of love. And it's such a great place. What I love about living in Mexico is that there are also fewer barriers to entry, right? And so, you can try anything, right? And do anything, and it's cheaper without some of the. I sometimes feel, Matt, that the hardest place to grow is where you were planted, right? That because people know a version of you, or there are limited resources in that place or whatever, sometimes that can stifle your creativity and the things you want to do. And so the newness of Mexico, the price point, the access to like just fresh fruits and vegetables. I mean, I'm living better, I feel better, and this just feels like a really great place to spread the love, and give love back, because this is a place I moved here initially during the pandemic, and it's the place where I felt it made me feel safe, physically, emotionally. And it's where I really started to embark on this journey of I would like to find a way to help people live a more fully integrated life. So it's a full circle moment for me, I think.
Well, it also comes through in your social media, and that's again, that's how
Mhm.
we connected. Whether actually I said LinkedIn, but actually it was Instagram into LinkedIn. And
Right.
but through your social media, you really kind of put out there a lot, not only kind of the physical health and so forth, your mental health concept ideas, but then I love it. In between that, you'll have this series on bartering basics or negotiating deals. So you're really kind of pulling all that all together, and it seems to be very successful on social media as well.
Yeah, you said something earlier that, resonates, right? People have short attention spans, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't want the information, right? So it's our job to, really kind of distill information in a way that it's accessible and it's quick and it's funny. And what I love about it, I'm relatively new to the social media space, at least Instagram. But what I love about it is that you are able to reach so many people, right? It is this sort of democratization of access, right? And so trying to make sure that I'm providing information, like basic info, things that I think are basic, like, hey, these are some things you should be thinking about with respect to forming an LLC. Hey, if you don't have the money, like it doesn't mean that you can't do the thing, but think about bartering, and how do you do that in a way that's ethical? How do you do that in a way that's fair? How do you evaluate your services vis-a-vis the services of the person that you're going to be bartering with? And that level of advice and guidance has really proven to be successful. I think you take for granted what you know, right, and what comes naturally to you, and the feedback has just been really great. And it's also a great place to be able to your point, tap into the other pillars, right? And so it's like I'll give you some business and legal advice. And then, we'll be talking about doing something physical, like going swimming, like instead of, getting off of a Zoom and, you know, eating your feelings, like go for a jog, right? And you come back and you're kind of refreshed and you're able to like be ready for the next thing. And again, they're useful tips like that I think people that are really resonating with people. And I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I love that. It comes through. So well, and I very much look forward to. I travel a lot, so the next time when I do go to that part of Mexico, I very much look forward to being able to reconnect and kind of checking back in with you as far as some of the story you've shared with our audience and see where everything's at.
Bienvenido. I'm excited to have you, and hopefully, by the time you do get here, we're further along with all of the things that we're working on right now. But I'd love to have you over for a drink and a tapa at our restaurant.
Yes, well, I love food as well as travel, so it's perfect, perfect
Yes.
for accommodation. So, but no, mostly just thank you so much for sharing a bit of your story with our audience here. And like I said, look forward to seeing you soon.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. Make sure that you follow me at Danny from the block. There's no K, but that's okay. And we'll keep trucking and let us know if there's anything else you'd like us to be giving advice on. We're always happy to take feedback.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks so much.
All right, all right.
Feels good, so good.